Hey guys, G-Shadow007 here with a rant of sorts. This is going to address two types of people. The people who want information spoon-fed to them all the time, and the people that tell others not to watch something that they themselves didn't enjoy. So let's start off with the people who only crave information. So what triggered me to talk about this? Well, it all goes back to that rant Prime92 made a couple days ago on G-Reco. I watched it and I couldn't help but sigh at the things she was complaining about. She said it sucks because it didn't make any sense to her and that she couldn't understand anything. All I have to say to that is, do you have any critical thinking skills? The reason why I ask this is because G-Reco isn't a show that dumps information on your lap. It rather gives you the ability to critically think about what's really going on. I think that a lot of people, Prime included, have lost sight of that. Now, I understand if it's like your first time watching a show like G-Reco and not liking it because it didn't answer all your questions right away, but that's where your brain comes in, people. I really don't like it when people say something sucks just because it didn't spoon-feed them large amounts of information. Having exposition is fine, but you don't constantly dump it on people's lap, as it isn't good storytelling. Why do you think stuff like Advent Children failed so badly? If all you want are things that ham-fist you information, then what are you going to learn from it by yourself? If you are given an answer guide during a test that gives you all the answers without studying for that particular test, what satisfaction will you have knowing you didn't need to think at all during the test? You won't find any satisfaction from it. The point is, shows don't need to shove information down your throat to be good. Look at Cowboy Bebop. That show doesn't constantly dump information on you. It instead tells you the information regarding the story and characters in a subtle manner. It was a show that required you to think. And Cowboy Bebop is hailed as one of the best anime of all time by a lot of people. So why is it that we praise Cowboy Bebop for the reasons we demonize G-Reco? Let's also not forget the person behind this show, Yoshiyuki Tomino. And do you know what he made before this? Turn A Gundam and Overman King Gainer, two shows that were really bizarre but still entertaining to watch. So what do people honestly expect from G-Reco, especially considering Tomino's mentality nowadays? The reason why I think G-Reco isn't as bad as people think it is because it has a show don't tell mentality, meaning it lets you, the viewer, decide to interpret what's going on. We have brains for a reason, people. It's so you can use them to analyze and learn about the things you see. So, to all the people bashing shows like G-Reco because they can't analyze the plot well, I advise you to start looking at things in a more critical manner. If you still end up hating it, fine. It's not like I'm forcing you to like something you hate. All I'm saying is that you should look at things in a different perspective. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the type of people who tells others not to watch something because they themselves thought it sucks. All I got to really say about this is, why do you people do that? People have the right to judge things by themselves. Don't influence them to think otherwise. Just because you hate the show doesn't mean you have to ruin the fun for everybody. Now, I'm a bit guilty of this myself, since I did say at the end of my G-Savior review that people should not watch it. But that was more or less me being comedic and over the top. You can watch G-Savior if you want. Don't let me influence your own opinion or judgment. That's another thing too. Don't let people who are popular like Prime92 influence you. Just because somebody is popular doesn't mean you have to agree with them every step of the way. Think for yourself. That's my tip. Think for yourself when watching something, and don't be a blind follower for the sake of being a blind follower. That's all I really have to say on this matter. So my final message is this. Just think for yourself and try to give something a chance, even if you may not like it. This is G-Shadow, Catch you guys later.